Assalamu alaikum friends, how are you? So since we are 3 weeks away from our exam, AFM exam, this is a mock 1, and this question is taken from the BPP textbook. I'm sorry, BPP Revision Kit. Okay, this is mock 1 in your BPP Revision Kit, and one of the students of mine requested me to do this question too because she was having some problems with future. So I thought, why not do this question for so that it benefits everyone. Since it's a mock, so it will benefit others also. She was asking for future, but I thought of doing the whole question two, because this is a question on risk management, and definitely you will get a question on risk management. There is no doubt about it. So this is a mock. Even you can attempt on your own without seeing the answers first. If you don't have this mock with you, you can take the picture of the question paper in your phone, and then you can compare the answer. You can come back to this video, compare your answers with the answers given. Okay, so what should you do by now? Okay, before I start this question, let me tell you some of the things what you should be doing at now. Some of the advices which most of the students ask me on different social media, on Facebook, on Instagram, on WhatsApp, on email me and ask me at what stage they should be, because since we are 3 weeks away from our exam, right? The exam is on 11th June. So what should I be doing at now? By now you should have completed the revision kit at least once. Okay, I advise to do more than one if you can, but at least once you should be done with all the question. That also, not just finishing the question, but reviewing yourself and going through it and understanding your mistakes. Everything should have been done by now. Now is the time for you to practice mocks, past papers, time yourself, know where your weaknesses are. Okay, if your weaknesses are in calculating exchange rates, go and do it more. Do more questions on that. Not same question all the time. 5-10 times you're doing the same question. No, because a person gets bored also, and you know the answer from beforehand, so you don't learn anything new. Okay, try different questions in the same topic. That shall help you. You will know the variety of the questions, the pattern of the question, what are the similarities, how it is answered, what is the starting point, how it ends. So that you have to see. Okay, and so now is the time for you to work on your weaknesses. You should be in the mock stage, the past paper stage, right? Now is not the time for you to study anything new. Now is the time for you to do revision. You can even go through the revision kit again also if you want, because anyway revision kit are the questions from the past papers only. So ultimately you are solving the past papers only. So don't look at it like that. Revision kit, past paper, mock, they are not different. They are same only. It's just all the past paper which are not there given to you on your page online, right? In your ACC website, are given in your revision kit. So you can attempt those. That's what's given together in a revision kit. And what of the question, the new latest questions are not there in the revision kit, that you have to go to your ACC homepage and attempt from there. And you have to attempt the CBE platform, because I think in June it is CBE platform, and soon I'll be coming up with the CBE platform also, how to answer on CBE platform. So if any one of you have a specific doubt on any part of the question, you can email me, you can WhatsApp me, send message on Instagram, and then I'll be coming up with that video. I'll be making a video on that to solve that question. So I recommend that you do as much past paper as possible, not just one, not just two. The question comes is, how many past paper should I do? Will I be able to pass with one past paper? No, you will not be able to pass with one past paper. That's not enough. Two, no. At least more than three or four. At least three, four, five. If not all, but at least three, four you have to do. Why you have to do three, four? The reason is so that you know. You you get that confidence, you improve, you know your mistakes. What you have done previously, you can improve on. And if you compare your first past paper, with your last past paper, you will see a massive improvement in your answer. You will see that yourself, how much you have improved, what you have learned. That's why it's important that before the exam, at least 4 or 5 past papers you have to do. If not 5, okay, let's say 3, at least 3. Minimum you have to do is 3. Minimum is 3. There's no maximum. Maximum you can do any amount. Okay, and please don't skip the hard questions, because the more you skip the hard questions, there are more chances that you will end up having trouble in the exam, because those are the questions will come. Ultimately, you will see that those are the questions you'll be struggling in the exam also. So if you are finding something hard on, don't skip it in your practice stage at this stage. Those are the questions you have to work more on. There might be some part of the syllabus which you're not interested in doing them. Like it's kind of boring, dull. Those are the questions you have to practice more. Not the questions which you are good at. Okay? Review your answer. Don't just somehow finish the answer and just keep as it is. At least a good student who goes through the past papers after they have completed the past paper, I'm assuming they are doing it in 3 or 15 minutes at home. When they review, the review stage takes more time than actually answering the paper. At least 2 hours or 1.5 hours should be given for reviewing your answer properly. That much, with that much detail and attention, you have to review, not just okay, this is correct, this is correct. No, don't try to match your answer with them. Try to understand the concept. Try to question if something. Sometimes the answers might be wrong and your answer might be correct, so you have to question. If you have learned something from the textbook and if you see the answer is done in some other way, you have to question. Don't just assume that whatever they have given is correct. But since I have done that whole past paper and the whole book, I think rarely I see any mistakes, or maybe 1 or 2 places. That also the principle wise is not wrong. It's just the calculation they have done it wrong. It's just I think 1 or 2 mistakes I got. Rarely I didn't get any mistake. So there are not any chances of you getting a mistake from their side. So work on that part and let's start with this question. This is a 25 marks question. That means you should take 36 minutes to do this question. You have to be by now, you have to be at that stage that you have to finish it in 36 minutes. If you are not finishing it in 36 minutes, if you are taking more time, that means you have to work more on your time management, not in your knowledge and all. Okay. And since you have to type and you have to use Excel and you have to use Word, MS Word, you have to be a pro at it by now. So practice on Word and Excel. Okay. So question 2 is Retilon PLC is a medium-sized UK company. Always read the introduction first. 2-3 lines. That definitely is a risk management question. If you want, you can even start with the requirements also. But since most of these are numbers, I don't have so much of it to read, so I can just read the 2 lines and then go start reading the requirements. Because usually I tell my students that start from the requirements first. Start reading the requirements and then the case study. But here, since all are numbers, you don't have to read much. So just 2 lines, I can read it. So Retilon PLC is a medium-sized UK company that trades with companies in several European countries. Which company is this? First, you have to underline that one in the exam. Very important, because that will tell you the currency of that country. What is the home currency? What is the foreign currency? Okay. So wait a minute. Okay. So it is a UK company. And it deals with whom? It trades with European companies. That means the currency or the home currency is UK pound and the foreign currency will be euros. Trade deals over the next 3 months are shown below. Next 3 months. So 3 months is important. Assume that it is now 20th April. Now whenever they tell you this date, assume today is this date. Very important is that date. Okay. So now is 20th April. You have 2 months time, you have 3 months time. Okay, as you can see, you have in 3 different currencies. France and Germany, they are using euro, but Denmark is using a different currency. So 2 currencies, 2 foreign currencies you have to deal with. That also you have receipt and you have payment, and you have in different time periods. So don't mix up with these 2 different time periods. 2 month time you have to deal it separately. 3 months time you have to deal it separately. Okay, and when it's the same currency, the good thing is what? Net off. Exactly. When receipt and payment are in same currency, first is use internal hedging net off without before using forward, future and option. Okay, coming to the foreign exchange rate, you can see you have been given D kroner to UK pounds and euro to UK pounds. 2 month forward rate and 3 month forward rate are given. Annual interest rate valid for 2 months or 3 months. And see, if interest rate is given to you means money market hedging is used. Otherwise, there is no use of giving you the interest rate. That means money market hedging is used. Don't get confused. This is not an interest rate risk management question. This is an exchange rate risk management question. Because interest rate is given, you might be like, this is a no. This is an exchange rate risk management. That's why they are talking about receipts and payments in different currencies. Otherwise, they would have talked. They have talked about interest rate going up and down. Okay. So they have given you the borrowing and investing, and it's annual interest rate. Annual. That means you have to proportion it for 2 and 3 months. And you have been given 4 borrowing rates and 4 investing rates. You have to know which where you have to use the borrowing rate, where you have to use the investing rate. If you are very good in money market hedging, right, you can go back and see my videos on money market hedging, on forward, on future, and options, and all those things. Okay, so future market rate. Future is the area where people are having trouble. So 3-month euro contract. What is the size? It is in euro. Remember the currency in which the future is given to you. It's in euro, the contract size. And it's 3-month contract. Okay, 3-month. Contracts are for buying or selling euros. That means you have to decide, are you going to buy euros or sell euros? They didn't tell you, right? They will not tell you also. You have to tell. You're buying euro or selling euro. You're going short in the future or long in the future. That statement you have to write. Future markets are in pounds per euro. Very careful. What is the future price? Future prices are in pounds per euro. Okay? Because if you see the spot here, just see the spot here. It is euro per pounds. Can you see? But here it is pounds per euro, the other way around, reciprocal. That's why you always have to mark currency stated in terms of what? What is the base currency? What is the counter currency? If both are same, it's okay, but here it's different. Okay, so required. What is the first part of A? Requires using the forward market, money market, and currency future market as appropriate device of foreign exchange hedging strategy that is expected to maximize the cash flow of Retilon PLC at the end of 3-month period. So you have to use 3. Number 1 is forward, then money market, then currency future. Transaction cost and margin requirements may be ignored for this part of the question. Okay, see, it can be ignored for this part of the question means later, if you can see second part of A, it has that margin cost, margin requirements and transaction cost. But for part A, we ignore it. Okay, and we know that transaction cost and the margin requirements comes for what? It comes in future. Okay, in future we require this margin requirements, but it is ignored. Basis risk may be assumed to be 0 at the time contracts are closed out. We all know because this is always repeated, always repeated. Okay. Because we all know it's true. Even if it's not given there also, we know that basis risk will be 0 only when the contracts are closed out. So future contracts may be assumed to match at the month end. We know. Okay. The last 3 lines are always there. So that's nothing new. Wait a minute. Is this a payment or okay? They didn't tell whether it's a payment or a borrowing because you have to decide. They have given you payments also, receipts also. That's why they have told maximize cash flow. Here they didn't tell you whether it's a receipt or a payment, like how they usually give us. Okay. Second part, which is 4 marks only. Remember one thing, even if it's for 4 marks, don't ignore it. It looks 4 marks, but to get 4, I will always tell you, see, from experience I'm telling you this, to get that less mark is more hard. To get more marks, if let's say your question is marked for 20 marks, 15 marks, 10 marks, it's more easier for you to get those marks. But if it's for 1 mark, 2 marks, 4 marks, it's more hard. Because you have to be very specific, short to the point. Usually, students, we have this habit of writing too much. So when we have more marks, we can nicely write, describe. We get marks for our workings and all, but not when the marks are less. Okay, so you have to be very precise in your answer. 4 marks. Successive daily prices on the future market for a June contract which you have sold are. So this is on future market and it's a June contract. Selling price day 1, day 2, day 3. Just see the price, how the prices are reacting. If you see the selling price 0.6916, day 1 prices are increasing, day 2 prices are increasing, but day 3 price fell down. Okay, you can see this is called annotation. You can do this annotation if you want. Increase from here to here, increase from here to here, it decrease. This is a sign for you so that quickly you can calculate profit or loss. If you don't do this also, there's no harm in it. This is just a way how you note. You just write some short words or bullet points next to it, so that when you come through it again while doing the question, you can quickly know in this part, okay, these things are there. So initial margins are 1000 per contract. What is the initial margin? Variation margin is 100% of the initial margin. Spot exchange rates may be assumed not to change significantly during these 3 days. So spot remains the same. Okay. For each of the 3 days, show the effect on your cash flow of the price changes of the contract. What do you have to do? For 3 days, effect on your cash flow. Next. Question 3 is not important, right? This is about question 2 only. Discuss. So part B is not calculation. It is something to write, theory part. And we are also going to do this also, question part B. Because most of the students, I know, they are good in numbers. You people are good in numbers, but you struggle to write the theory part. I know that thing. Okay, so discuss the advantages and disadvantages of forward and currency future for hedging against foreign exchange rate risk. But this type of question is easy because it is very direct. You know what to write, advantages and disadvantages. But there are some theory where students struggle to write because they don't know where to start from. How do you know where to start? What is the starting point, what to write, and what is the end point? That's why it's recommend that you do as much writing also. Okay, theory part. As in write, not just read answers. It will not help you. So here we are going to discuss. Discuss means you have to write advantages, disadvantages of forward and future. For 6 marks. So 3 for forward, 3 for future. Okay. Now, so since we have finished this, what should be our next step? Next step should be forward, money and future. So we are going to start with forward. It's easy, right? Forward. You can start in any order, future, money, it does not matter. Okay, that order does not matter, that I only have to start with forward. No, but forward is easy, right? So why not do something which is easy and then finish it off? Because later on you anyway have to struggle in future and money markets. Shouldn't struggle. I'm not saying that you will, but it is common, right? Forward does not require so much of calculations also. Before using forward also you have to do this. For 2 months time, what do we have? A payment. 393, 265. And for 3 months, so we'll do separately. So for 2 months time, there are no any receipts. Only we have one payment, so we can directly use forward and change it, convert it. Okay. So 393, 265, this one. Now let us go to the answer. 3 months time, we'll finish one by one. Okay, whenever you're in a question like this, don't hurry or don't be in a rush or don't panic. What should I do? Which one should I do first? This is start in a logical order. See, start with 2 months time because obviously 2 months time comes before 3 months time, right? And then we'll do it with 3 months time. So 2 months time and you have to write it also. Okay. And here top tips is given, then we are given the marking scheme, but this I will go at the end of the video. So you have to stay with me till the end of the video to go through this marking scheme and top tips. So here if you see how they have written the answer, also check that out, not just the main answer you will get it correct anyway, but these things you have to learn by yourself. Okay, here what they have done, receipts and payments. So on one side they have taken receipt, on the other side they have taken payment. You can do it this way also, you can do it your way also. You can finish with 2 months first and then go to 3 months, or you can finish with receipt, both 2 and 3 months receipt and then go to payment. Anyway, any order, it's up to you. Okay, but let's assume that you are following this method. Okay, so this is receipt and then payment on the right side. Clearly they have mentioned the time also. If you see the time, 2 months and 3 months, do you see? You have to write, you have to mention these things. Don't just start calculating or write some numbers, any number. How will someone understand whether it's a receipt or a payment? How will someone understand whether it's for 2 months or 3 months? So you should not make it confusing for the examiner. You have to be very clear whether it's for 2 months or 3 months when you write. First get that correct, so that later you don't have to keep on cutting and all, that you are trying to squeeze or make spaces somewhere. Don't do this mistake. Be very clear. I'm telling you, take 2 minutes extra to plan rather than jumping into the answering. It will save you a lot of time. No cutting and all. Your answer will look neat and professional. Okay, take 2 minutes or 5 minutes extra if you want to plan your answer. First in your mind, you have to visualize, this is how I'm going to write, this will be my receipt like this, then my payment. First you have to talk to yourself and visualize, plan, then start writing the answer. Okay, the main answer, the actual answer. It will save you a lot of time. It will save you from making mistakes, error. You don't have to keep on cutting and changing later on. Okay, so 2 months time it is given. This is the payment in euro. Currency matters a lot. This is an exchange rate risk management. So you have to write the currency in front of it. You cannot just write the number 393265, because we have to deal with two currencies here. One is euro, one is KR. Next, coming to the 3 month. Okay, so this is over. Next, if you see the, where is it? And another thing, if for the students, for the ones who are viewing this video, if you don't want to see my video the full, you have understood everything, only some specific part you want to see, you can forward and go to that part and see. Okay, what happens is you are not wasting your time. If you know something, in case you want to clarify or you want to watch it, then do watch it. But if you want to save your time and don't want to watch everything, and because some of you don't know what is the important thing I should watch, so you watch the whole thing and later you come to find out that it was not important, or I knew this from before. So don't waste time watching the whole video. Just watch what is the relevant part for you. Fast forward or you go back and watch the relevant part, and then you can go ahead with it wherever you are struggling. But if you want to watch the whole video, there's no harm in that, right? Because this is not the time for you to keep on, you know, not just mine, other videos also, keep on watching videos and not doing anything. Rather watch 1 or 2 videos, understand the concept properly, and do more questions. This is the time for you to do action. Do questions more than watching, or watching something. It's good if watching something will help you, but it's not that in a 24 hours day, 18 20 hours you're watching video and only 4 5 hours only you're doing questions. It should not be like that also. So you have to keep that balance. Okay, okay, next. Okay, 3 months. So 3 months time we have receipt, we have two receipt, three receipt, and okay. So the for the euros and the payment, if you see this one and this one, forget about the KR. This you can do internal hedging. You can net off the receipt and the payment. So about that we'll talk later. But this you can write in under receipt, because this you cannot use internal hedging. Only receipt is there in that currency. So KR 8.6 million. Okay, that's why they have written receipt over here. It comes under receipt only. Okay, It has nothing to do with payment. Just see how they have written. They wrote the currency also. They wrote million also. In front of it, they wrote M. Okay, so write it. When you are writing currency, write the whole amount. If it's in million, write million. If you want to write KR 86000, like the 6 zeros, if you want to write, you can go ahead. But I would say don't waste time writing all the zeros, right? These are some type saving techniques you have to know. Just write M in front of it. It is understood that it's million rather than writing 8600000 and all. Okay. Next. Now do you see here? I'm sorry, I'm not very good in making that curved arrow. So just excuse me and just see how from here. Okay, I will show this. From here to here, just see how they have used internal hedging. Add, deducted. They have added the receipt and deducted the payments. All the four. Right? So country does not matter here. What matters is the currency is same. If you see France and Germany. So this receipt add. Okay, then you minus this. 491 plus 890 minus 60 minus 197. If you see here also. That's what they have done here exactly. Add both the receipt, deduct both the payment, and you get this. That is also in euro. Okay, write the currency. So that means, in short, summarize it. I have one payment for 2 months. I have one receipt for 3 months and one payment for 3 months. Now, how much easy it has become for you to deal with one payment and one receipt for 3 months. Imagine if you have to deal with all this four. One receipt of France, one payment of France, one receipt of Germany, one payment of Germany. How much it will be for you. I know such people also who do that. They try to hedge everything separately. This is a mistake which you should not do. Right? So now it's just one single payment. Now coming to the forward market hedge. So you have to write the word forward if you're using forward. And when you're using forward, it's not just one forward. Now remember, we have two different time. One is for 2 months, one is for 3 months. So 2 month, we have what? Payment 393265. Okay. So let's go to the forward. Okay, the 2 month forward. You have to go here. Which currency? You are going for the second one, euro per pound, because the first payment is in euro, right? So what should you do? Which rate? Now is your time. If at this stage you get the rates correct, later on everything else will fall in the place. Okay, 1.433 or 1.459. Which rate? Think. Think. This is a payment. Euro. You have to pay in which currency? Euro. You have to pay in euro. That means what? You are a UK company. Okay, if you see the base currency also here, it's in pounds. Sometimes the rate's the other way around. That's why I'm telling you, more than the country you are, it's better to see the base currency. Base currency is pounds. That means you have pounds in hand. You will be dealing in pounds only. You go to the bank, you sell and buy pounds only. But you have to make a payment in euro. That means you need payment. What do you need? Euro. That means you have to buy euro. How will you buy euro? By selling pounds only, right? If you sell pounds only, you will get euro. So you will sell pounds at a lower rate, because remember, you are always at a loss. The bank is the one who is gaining the profit. In the other way, if I have to tell you it the other way around, bank will buy at a lower rate and sell you at a higher price, because bank has to make the profit, no? So you have to sell pounds. You will be selling pounds at what rate? Bank is buying from you. Bank will buy at a lower rate only, at this rate. At this rate. Just see from the bank's point of view. That way also you can see, or from your point of view also. If you have to sell, you will be selling at a lower price. because you will be the one who will be losing. Bank is making profit. But if you want to see from the point of the bank's point of view, bank will be buying at a, see, you are selling means bank is buying from you the pounds. So bank will be buying at a lower price only because bank has to make a profit. So it's 1.433. Okay. In short, okay, you sell you sell at a lower price, you buy at a higher price. Remember it this way. So that's why you're selling at a lower price, 1.433. You divide it or you multiply. That's the second question. Divide or multiply. This is in euro. This is also in euro per pounds. Base currency is pounds, right? Euro per pounds. That means 1.443 euro equal to 1 pound. So this is also in euro. This is also in euro. Same currency divide. If it was different currency, you multiply. If this was the other way around, let's say this is pounds per euro, then you multiply. This currency matters on the left. At what currency it is? Is it same? So this is, okay, wait, I will highlight it for you. This is euro. This is also euro. Just check this. If this both are matching, divide. If this both are not same, multiply. Write it somewhere. Please make a note of it. So you divide 1.433. If you see here, go to the forward. 1.433. Can you see it here? 1.433. Divide. Write the currency also here. Okay, the currency in euro, and if you after you divide, the answer will be in pounds. See here. Just see. There is another way of seeing also. Okay, even though it's not very correct, you might be accurately wrong, like you might be making some mistakes with the number, but logically you can check your answer. See, where is it? This is euro 1.433 euro, right? Euro is equal to 1 pound. Okay, so how much of euro you have? 393265. Okay, that means your pound is less, right? 1.433 euro is equal to 1 pound. That means after you convert into pounds, in terms of pounds, the amount should be less than this amount, less than this euro amount. Correct, right? Logically it should be like that only. So this is 274, which is less than this. Just see, this is greater. Euro, after you convert, it will be less than 393265. So technically, like logically and technically is correct. But yes, the number what you do, that depends on your calculation. There you might be wrong, but logically this is the way to see whether you are correct or not. If you want to be sure, if you have that doubt whether my conversion is correct or not, because it's easy for you to identify very beginning. If something, let's say after you convert, let's say rather than dividing you multiplied. Okay, assume you multiplied by I will write it here. These are some of the errors which students commonly make, so I thought of showing it here so that you don't make this. Let's say you multiplied. Okay, assume you made that mistake, you didn't know whether to divide or multiply, you multiplied. So it's 393265 multiplied by 1.433. Now the answer is 563548.745. Now do you see? Is this number greater than 393? How can it be? So you know that you are wrong. This will tell you that you are wrong somewhere. This will tell you. So definitely you know it's not multiplication, it's division. But this way it's long. If you want to decide whether to divide or multiply, the method which I told you, check the currency, is easier. But still, if you want to see, you can check this way out. Okay. So coming to the 3 months. Now 2 months is over. Let me put a tick mark. Okay. First, before hedging, also remember this part. Okay. This thing has to be done. For this, you are getting marks. You have to write it. When you have too many payments and receipts to do. First, you have to set out a table like this and write the payments and receipts. Then you have to hedge. Coming to the 3 month. Okay. 3 month also. 3 month, if you see, there are two things. payment and receipt, but you cannot do anything because they are in different currencies. One is in KR, one is in euro. So here one is payment, the other one is receipt. Separate you have to deal. The rates are separate. First we'll deal with the payment. What is the payment? We wrote here. Let me highlight it. 676928. So you have to hedge 676928. But which rate to use? Come to the 3-month forward. Okay. And 1.431 or 1.456. This is again a payment. So it's very clear that this is the rate, because if for 2 months payment you use that rate, so 3 months payment also this rate only. It will be on the same side only, 1.431, because you have to sell pounds to get euros. You'll be selling at a lower price. So it's this rate, 1.431. So this is in pounds. Now also if you check, technically it's correct because your pound has to be lower than this amount, and it's lower. 676 and 473. So coming to the receipt. Receipt is in what? The receipt, we just have one receipt, which is 8.6 million KR. And for that we have to use this. Out of this two we have to use. Now be very careful. Because this is a receipt, don't go and tell that wait, I'm sorry, let me show you. Don't tell this is the rate. This might be a rate, but we'll see. But not just because in the previous two this was the rate was on the left side, so this time also no, because this is a receipt, this is not a payment. That is the thing which I want to show you. It's a receipt, not a payment. Receipt, you have to deal separately. It's the other way around. Think other way around. Receipt, what do you have to do? You have to sell. You have to sell that foreign receipt to get in your home currency, no? That means you have to buy pounds and sell the foreign currency. You sell foreign currency, you buy pounds. So you buy pounds at what rate? You will be buying at a higher rate. You will be buying at a higher rate, this rate. I told you, you are the first position. You will be buying at a higher rate, selling at a lower rate. So 10.83. Can you see here? 10.83. And here, if you see one more thing, they didn't write 8.6 million, they wrote the whole amount. If you want, you can write 8.6 million also, but when you write 8.6 million, make sure in the calculator you write the whole amount. Why? Because when this answer comes, right, then you will get confused with decimal number and zeros and all. In order for you not to get confused, in the calculator write 860000, write the 5 zeros after 6 in the calculator and divide by 10.83. You will get this whole number as it is. Let's say you are writing it this way, 8.6, okay, million you wrote in the calculator also you are putting 8.6, divide by 10.83. If you are very smart, you will be able to know how many zeros to do and all, but not most students get it right. So 8.6 divided by 10.83. The answer I am getting in the calculator is 0.794. So when you convert this again, right, you can even write this as you can write like this also, 0.794090 million. But then later on, it becomes very confusing because this is like this and this one is in terms of this, right? So write the whole amount as it is like this and write it in full. But if you want, you can write it like this, you can show it like this, but in the calculator please put the whole amount, or you can put the whole amount, you can write it as your wish. Now forward is over and forward is easy also. The only problem issue in the forward is picking up the correct rate, that's it. Rest forward is very easy, it is the easiest. Coming to the money market hedge. Money market hedge is a little extra work you have to do. You have to decide on the rates and then you have to first convert, then amount to invest, amount to borrow, that you have to decide. So more work is required in money market hedge. Okay. Here also we'll separate the 2-month payment and 3-month payment and receipt. So first we are starting with the 2-month payment. Okay. You have to know which amount, at what amount you have to invest, at what amount you have to borrow. Okay, here there are the very first statement, we need to invest now to match this we require. We need to invest now to match. How do you know whether it's investment or borrowing? At which currency we invest, at which currency we borrow? This is also a thing you have to know in money market hedging by now. But since it's a revision, so we are doing it. Think, I'm giving you some few minutes. Okay. I hope by now you know, or if you haven't, then you can see the answer. Okay, wait. Okay, there is it. Yes, it's here. Now, remember one thing. Okay, how do you start in money market hedging? Your starting point is your either your foreign currency payment or your foreign currency borrowing. I'm sorry, not borrowing, payment or receipt. Starts with that foreign currency only. So first decide whether you have to invest in that foreign currency or you have to borrow in foreign currency. Decide that. Decide. Start with euro because this is in euro, right? 393265 euro. So starting point is from that currency only. You either borrow at that rate or invest at that rate. But starting point is that rate, that currency. Then you convert and then you come to the home currency. And then later you. Okay, so first decide in euro, are you investing or borrowing? Okay, I have told you a rule. It's a rule in money market hedging. If it's a foreign currency payment, at what rate you have to borrow? If it's foreign currency receipt, which currency you have to borrow or invest? I've told you in the video. Okay, again I'm repeating here. This is a foreign currency payment, euro. So foreign currency payment in euro means you have to invest. If it's a foreign currency payment, invest in foreign currency, borrow in domestic currency or borrow in home currency. That's the rule. If you forgot the rule, write it now. You can write it down it again. I am repeating. Foreign currency payment, invest in foreign currency, borrow in home currency. That means invest in euro, borrow in UK pounds. Invest in euro, borrow in UK pounds. Why is it? Understand the logic. Okay. The reason is when it's a payment, okay, you have to have that amount to pay, right? After 2 months. After 2 months, not today. Today you have to borrow in UK pounds, in your home currency. Okay. Because when you borrow in your home currency, okay, then you convert in euro, then you invest it. Technically, first you are borrowing only before you are investing. But when you are doing writing money market hedging, you are starting with their currency, foreign currency, whether it's borrowing, whether it's investing. Okay. So now, today what you are doing, you are borrowing in UK pounds. You borrow in UK pounds. Okay. After 2 months, convert it. I'm sorry, you convert in euro. Keep it there in the bank account. After 2 months, you will pay in euro at that rate, whatever the rate is. Okay. Because you have to ultimately pay in euro. So you first borrow in pounds and then convert and then invest it in euro. That means keep in the bank account euro. So when you keep the euro in the bank account, definitely you are getting the rate, no? You'll be getting interest rate, the investing. and then from that bank account you pay in euro only after you invest. That's why you invest in foreign currency, you borrow in home currency. But if you don't want to understand the logical part how it is, then it's not required, but you can just memorize it. If it's a foreign currency payment, invest in foreign currency, borrow in home currency. So you borrow in UK at this rate, and since it's a France, so you invest at this rate 3.5%, but this is annual, you have to take it for 2 months. Okay, so here they have written the statement, we need to invest now to match this in the future. You need this much euro, so we need to invest now. So you are investing today, keeping it for 2 months, and then you are paying. We require. So the interest rates, okay, the interest rates are quoted per year, so they need to be adjusted to become 2 months rate. This means multiplying the annual rate of 3.5% by 2 over 12, which gives this rate. So this is the rate, 3.5%. I kind of forgot the rate. Let me see the rate. Yes, it's 3.5 and 7.5%. So 3.5 is the investing rate. By 2 over 12 if you multiply, so this will be the rate. Now this statement, this lines, whether you have to write or not, I prefer you to write it. I recommend you to write these lines that interest rates are quoted in annual, then you have to adjust for 2 months, and after that the rate is like this. Because you will get markings for such working. Okay. Next, amount to be invested. So multiply or divide. You divide 393265 by 1 plus that rate. 0. See, this 5.833% means 0.005833. Okay, and you get this. Because if you see later on, you multiply here, you divide here. How do you know that when to divide, when to multiply? That's the thing, no question comes in your mind, pops out. See, it is easy because you are having in euro, investing rate is in euro, same currency, divide. The percentages is also same, so you can divide. Because the rate is in euro, the currency is in euro, so you divide. Okay, after you divide, convert it at, don't use forward or any other rate, spot rate. I will highlight it for you. Spot rate. Remember, this is money market hedging. Don't go and start using forward rate over here. Forward, we are over with forward. Okay, so 399.84, that amount, okay, this amount, after you have invested, this amount needs to be converted to pounds, because if we don't convert to pounds, how will you borrow that, right? So what rate? Now you know the answer, so you will tell me 1.439, but understand the logic. You have to understand the logic. These things you need to understand the logic, otherwise you will not be able to decide which rate. Okay, so where is the spot rate? Okay, spot rate, euro and pounds. This is a payment, right? So definitely you will be selling pounds to get euro, selling pounds at a lower rate, 1.439. Okay, then you get in pounds. What happens? Once you get at pounds, don't stop here, you need to borrow. So to obtain this, we have to borrow for 2 months. This statements you have to write. It's not optional that you only do calculations and don't write. This you compulsory, you have to write. Okay, so again, the interest rates are quoted per year, so they need to be adjusted. This was the borrowing rate, right? Adjust it for 2 months. Multiply by the number of months, divide by 12. Amount to be paid to the lender. Now you multiply this rate. We need to borrow for 2 months because it's for 2 months you have to borrow. Okay, for one, when you convert at the spot, it is this amount, right? But for 2 months, this is the rate. So for 2 months, when you have to borrow, you multiply and this will be the amount. Okay. Coming to the 3 months payment. Same. So this now I can go a little bit fast since you understood the 2 months payment is the same cycle for the payment 676. So the rate for the 3 months payment. Okay. Same for 3 months payment also. It is what is it? Germany and France. Okay. So Germany and France the rate are same. Okay. Why the rates are same? Because when you did the internal hedging, France and Germany, right? That's why the rates are given same. You don't know whether you have to pick up the France or the Germany rate. That's why the rates are same, 5.75 and 3.5. So here also you have to invest in France and Germany and borrow 7.5 UK only, 3.5 and 7.5 only. So here also the rates are same. 3 month payment is just 3 month payment. Take it for 3 months. Again divide it by that. Get this, convert it. Same spot rate. Because spot rate does not matter, 2 or 3 months it will be same only. Once you get this time you have to borrow for 3 months. Okay, fair enough. Then come to 7 points, same rate only, UK, right? You are borrowing at UK only, so 7, take it for 3 months, multiply by that rate and you get this rate amount to be paid to the lender. Okay, now coming to the 3 month receipt. Here things might change the other way around. This receipt is not a payment. Before we go, you have to understand this is a receipt. For foreign current receipt, you invest in home currency, you borrow in foreign currency. You borrow in foreign currency, invest in home currency. Other way around, opposite. If you understood one, that's why I always tell, understand one thing properly, the other thing don't worry about it. Once you understand one thing, payment properly, receipt is just the opposite. You will understand receipt also. So rather than trying to understand or memorize two different things, payment is like this, receipt is like this. Understand one thing, either receipt or payment properly. Other thing is just the opposite of it. So just reverse it. This is the quicker way of learning things and it stays in your mind for a long time. Trust me, this is the way till now up to date. I study like this only. I never study if let's say two things are given and they are just quite the opposite of each other. Let's say demand and supply. When I study, I just studied the demand. I was very good at it. Supply, I never had to study because I know it's just the opposite of it. Only few things where I need to study, I did. So this is more time saving, more quicker for you to understand also things. And I don't get confused also because I don't have so much of things to remember. I don't panic. So understand one thing properly, reverse it. So here you will be borrowing in Denmark, not in UK. You will be borrowing in Denmark and investing in UK. 8 and 5.5%. That's the difference. Okay. So let us go there. 3 month receipt. So 8% and it will be 2% if it's for 3 months. Same. So divide it. See here, don't ask me this question why there we did amount to be invested first and then we later we did amount to be borrowed, because I have told you always start with the foreign currency. Whether you are investing, whether you are borrowing is not a thing. Whatever the currency you are given, start with that, because definitely that currency only you can start. You don't know the converted rate, right? You don't know in UK pounds how much is 8.6 million KR. So you have to start in 8.6 million only. That's why you're starting with the amount to be borrowed here. Okay, so that's why you divide it this time, you don't multiply. When you are starting something, okay, you divide it. And then you multiply. So amount to be borrowed and then converting at the spot rate. Spot rate, this is 10.71, keep it. 10.71. Yes, this rate only. Definitely. If for 3 months forward we used 10.83, it will be on the same line only. Spot 10.71 because it's a receipt. And one more thing I want to clarify. I'm sorry for that mistake. I previously told you because just now I saw here. I kind of forgot. See, this is what happens when for the long time you don't go through it. You kind of forget. So I also forgot. So I have told you early. Remember that how do you know whether it's divide or multiply? I told you because it was in euro percentage and euro currency. That's why you divide. No, when you start, you divide always. Okay. So just learn it like that. The logical part, don't ask me because I was not told why the logical part and all. If you want to get it from someone, you can get it. No, but that's not important. You divide, convert, and then you multiply. So it does not matter whether you invest or borrow. Because just now, when I came to this payment, I saw that thing over here. You divide it. Even though it's borrowing, you divide by 1.62 and then you multiply it later. Okay. So this was the rate, UK investing rate, and then multiply and then get this rate amount to be received. Okay. Coming to the future. This was an area where students had doubt. Okay. Now in bullet points, whatever is given in this 4 bullet points, memorize it. This is the way you have to answer when future comes. June future. Whether which future? March, June, September, December, which future? Whether you buy or sell future. The second point. Third point, number of contracts. Fourth, tick size. Okay. These are the 4 things which you have to know in future. And if it's option, one more thing is premium. That extra thing is there is premium if it's option. But option we are not given here. So don't worry about it. Okay. Don't memorize answer. Never memorize answer by June future because it's given there. No. Understand why June by June future. So which future? How will you decide? What is the date today? 20th April. 3 months. Over 3 months. Okay. And if it's over 2 months, you have to understand. If it's over 3 months, you have to understand because futures will be different, right? Even here also 2 and 3 months in future. So first we'll deal with the 2 months payment. 20th April. Okay. Let's assume is the end of April. Don't that those 10 days does not matter. Okay. From April because 30th because it was not 30th of April. Otherwise it would completely be perfect to use 2 months. So 20th of April, that means 20th of May, 20th of June, 20th of June, and June future expires at 30th of June, end of June. Remember, it's given there as an assumption that end of the month only future option. Sorry, futures will expire or mature. So 20th of May, 20th of June. So we are using June future for the 2 month. This is the rate. But this rate is pounds per euro. Other way around, not euro per pounds. Okay, next. Let's decide for the 3 months also now only. So May, June, and July. One more extra. So for July, you cannot use June. The next one is September. This is the rate. That means December we don't have to use at all. Okay. Now, next question. Buy or sell. They have told buy. That's why you're telling buy. Then that means you haven't understood. But if you have understood and then you are saying buying, then it's a good thing. How do you say it's buy? And by the way, for future, there are 3 different ways how they have presented the answer. I'm going to go through the alternative solution also. There are different ways of presenting the same answer. I'm going to explain all the 3. So that's why this video might be a little long. But if you don't want the alternative solutions, then it's okay. But if you want, then it will be, you can watch the whole video. Buy or sell. When a question comes like this, buy or sell, call or put, invest or borrowing, don't panic. You don't have to immediately tell an answer. Take 1 or 2 minutes, think, what's happening to this, what currency I am, what I am doing, what currency do I need, it's a payment or a borrowing. Go through all this process in your mind. Calm down, then you will get the right answer. Okay, ultimately you will get the correct answer. This is the stage where you don't have to panic. Advice under the exam condition. I know students panic in the exam condition. They are short of time, they look at the time, they get worried or don't have time. Quickly don't pick out anything. What happens is you might be wrong later. Trust me on this. Never ever do this. Don't try to change your cut and change your whole answer. You will not get that time. Trust me on this. Never, even if you know you are wrong, don't change your answer. Go ahead with that. At least you will get the marks for the workings and all. So that's why take some more time in the beginning to plan and think which rate to use. It might take more time to plan. Okay, decide which rate to take. But once you decide the correct rate, later on you can keep on going fast. But when you pick the rate wrong itself from the beginning, then everything else goes wrong. And later when you come to realize, then you'll be upset. Your mind will be wandering around that question. You'll be like, oh, I've lost so much of my. Then next, what happens is next question also, the fresh new question which you're going to attempt, you will not be able to do it. So that's why take more time and pick up the correct rate. Because it's not very easy. You cannot just pick it in seconds. I also will not be able to do it. I also do the process in my mind. Whether buy or sell, this rate, that rate. Then I decide, okay, this is the rate. So here, for future, what you have to do? It's a euro. It's a payment. You need to buy euro. Understood? So that's why you're long. You're buying euro. You're buying the June future. Because the contract size, look at the contract size. It's in euro. And the currency, the payment which you have to do is also in euro. So you are buying euro. You need euro. That's how you decide. But yes, that's why future option, this areas you need to practice more so that you'll be able to pick out. If you've seen, okay, some of you must be very quick in picking up the rates. The reason is they have practiced that area many times. That's why. So your practice, the amount of practice you have done, the intensity of your practice will tell you how good or bad you will be at that area. Okay, so future. So that's why it's buy June future, buy euro future, number of contracts. This was the payment divided because the contract size itself is in same cost. So if the contract size and the payment currency, same currency divide, different currency multiply, same, okay, different currency always multiply, same currency always divide. So here it is in euro. The contract size 125. They didn't show the euro, but it is understood. So when it's in given in fraction, round down, not round up. Always round down. Sometimes they will give you 3.5. You might round up to 3. You might round up to 4, but you have to round up less. So because 3.146, so 3 contracts. I'm sorry. 3 contracts. Contract has to be in whole number, it cannot be in fraction. Tick size. So your tick size will be 125 into this. This. How do you decide? How do you know that tick size? It will be given to you. It's given here. Wait a minute. The tick size. It's not okay. So you have to know that the tick size is this. Since it's not given, but usually it's given. But here it's not given. So if it's not given, then it is this. 0.30 and 1. Remember, after decimal, there will be 3 zeros. Okay, this is euro currency. That's why for euro contract. But usually in the exam I have seen, they give you the tick size. So you don't have to worry about the tick size since here it's not given. But tick size is given. It's always given. You don't have to worry about it. Okay, and then set up today, outcome 20th June and all. Okay, so you can do it like this. Okay, set up today. Today is what, 20th April. Outcome 20th June. Okay, after 2 months. Euros of cover needed. This is the payment. Contract size is this much. Number of contract is 3. All this detail you have to write down. What is the contract size? What is the number of so contract size you don't have to write it down because it's given to you. But number of contracts, the June future. Okay, so the June future buy euros at this rate. This is the future rate 0.6964. It's given. Now come to the actual transaction at June spot rate. So this is the actual spot rate is this. You divide or multiply? Divide. You divide and get this in pounds. Just see. Just see it's a payment. It's given in bracket. Can you see? It's given in bracket. It's given in bracket. Observe these things. It's a payment is given in bracket. If it's a receipt is given without bracket, they have given the currency also. After spot, you divide. Here they didn't show you whether you multiply or divide, but definitely it is divide only. Because if you multiply, this amount will be bigger than this. And it's same only, no spot rate and the rate is same. And 1.433 spot rate. I'm sure by now you know what is the spot rate. But again, for those who let me take it as spot rate. Yes, it's 1.433. Yes. So the 2 month forward is this rate. I've circled also 1.433 for a payment. Okay. First, you have to convert it using spot because then only you can compare with the future, with the profit or loss. Okay. Compare to the April spot. All these things I'm sure when I did the revision kit and even the past paper also it was not there. This is in mocks, but it's okay. You just follow the past paper and the this thing. The revision kit and all how it is presented. It is presented in much easier way. All these things are not there. These are extra, but it's okay. You can learn. It's okay. Compared to the April spot, what is the spot rate in April? 1.439. Okay. April spot means the original spot. This 1.433 is what? It's the forward. We use the 2 months forward as the spot rate. But when you go to the original future, yes, 1.439 they are using this. They are comparing it. So then you divide 393265 by 1.439 and compare. This is bad news in June. Okay, so they are giving it a bad news in June. I'll see. Now coming to the future profit or loss. Okay, so future profit. What is the you have to buy? You are buying future. Once you decide that you have to buy future, that will be the opening, and then you close with the sell. So April you buy 0.69 for this rate. It's given. Then you sell June at this rate. They have given one in terms of this. So when you also give answers like this, you have to give a small bracket. You have to write the number of working. In your paper, it could be working number 1, 2, anything. But write it. Make a note of it. Don't do all your calculations in the main answer itself. Keep it like this, professional. After the main answer, you can keep some space for the main answer and then go to the next page and start doing the working. Okay. So if you see number 1, this is the working. Working is kept separate from the main answer. Always. Okay, so this is the way for you to get that closing future price. You want to get the closing future price. Because if you don't get the closing future price, you will not know profit or loss. Okay. And before that, why they told bad news in June? If you see here, it is less. Using April spot, the it's a payment, right? The payment is less, but here the payment is more using the 2-month forward rate. Like in future, you can use the 2-month forward rate as a spot rate. They have it spot rate, but it's in fact that's the, you can say 2-month forward rate means is the June spot rate, and this is the April spot rate. So in June, it is more expensive. It's the payment are more when you're converting using the June spot rate or the 2-month forward rate. That's why it's a bad news in June. That means why they have given this here is they want to see whether it's a profit or loss in the spot rate. If it's a profit or loss, it depends. If it's a profit in the spot rate, in the future it will be a loss. If it's a loss in the spot rate, it will be a profit in the future. That's how future works. That's why it's given there, that spot rate thing. That's why they have given you the two spot rate compared and told whether it's a bad or a good news. If it's a bad news in spot means it will be a good news in future. Okay. That's why you will get a profit in future. Just don't see the answer. Okay, without seeing the answer also, you should understand that you will get a future profit in the future. If you are not getting a profit in the future, let's say spot rate also bad news, future also loss, definitely you will understand that somewhere something went wrong, either in your spot rate, either in your future. Something somewhere is wrong. It cannot be that both in both the places it's a loss or both the places it's a gain. One place has to be a loss, one place has to be a profit. It's always like that. Future works like that. Future is the opposite of spot. Okay, but how much is the profit? For that, for you to know that, you have to find the closing future price, and you have to sell because you are buying now futures opening. You have to sell June. So here this is the table you can use even in the exam also. Okay, start with the April because April, and then end of June. Okay, end of April because future matures end of the month, no? So end of June, complete 2 months. What is the June future price? This June future price, opening price will be given to, it's given. Just go and check there. Spot, when you're finding the spot, what is the April spot? It was 1.433. Just see from here. Oh, wait, 1.433. End of April. They have taken, wait a minute. Here they have taken 1.433 is the 2-month forward rate. This is not the spot. Just wait, just give me a minute. There is something which needs to be done here. 1.439. Okay. Now I understand. Okay. Usually, because when I have told you you are using the spot rate, but here they have used the forward rate 1.433. So that's why I was a bit confused because it was supposed to be the 1.439 because we take the future and the spot. But here they have taken the 2-month forward rate. So that's why I was a little bit confused. But in the alternative solution, they have used the spot rate, the original spot rate. But let's assume for time being, they have used 1.433. Now, why they have divided by 1? 1 over 1. Because future, remember, it was pounds per euro. This is future. But spot was the other way around. Spot was euro per pounds. That's why 1 divided by that. You want to get the reciprocal. Either you change the June future, 1 divided by 0.6964 and keep the spot as 1.433. Either you change this, you keep the June as it is, change the spot rate. 1 divided by 1.433. Okay. So they have divided the 2-month forward rate divided, and they have compared, and then this is the basis because future is less than the spot, so it's in bracket the basis. Then end of June also, definitely end of June it has to be 0 months, right? It have to be 0 nil, the basis has to be 0. So how can the basis be nil? Both of this has to be same. Okay, the spot, even though it's end of June here, okay, the spot if you see is the same. And then the June future, definitely this has to be same, the June future, otherwise this cannot be nil. So that's why both are same. So the closing is this one, 0 point, this is the one, okay, 0.6978. That's why they have got 0.6978. And when you compare, it's a profit. How profit? You're selling at a high price and buying at a lower price, right? That's why it's profit. 0.0014 profit means 14 ticks. Okay. How do you decide that? How do you know it's a 14 tick? Because look at the tick size. It is, look at the tick size, 0.0001. Okay. 1 of 1000. That means you need to multiply this by 1000. So okay, so 0.0001 into 1000 will be equal to 1. That's why the profit which you get 0.014 needs to be multiplied by 1000. Then you will be getting 14 ticks. You have to convert into 14 ticks. You cannot keep it as 0.0014. You need to multiply by the tick size. The total profit if you want to calculate, you have to do it. Then it's 14 ticks. It's in bracket, but don't worry. I don't know why they have written in bracket, but you don't have to keep in bracket because it's a profit. 14 profit. Profit per contract. What is per contract? What is the tick size here? 12.5. So 12.5 into 14 into how much? This is 175. Again, this 175 multiply by 3 because contract, how many contract into 3? So contract size, I'm sorry, the tick size into number of contract into the profit will be the total profit, 525 pounds. You have to know how to find the total profit and what will be the net position, your spot and your future profit. In the spot you are making a loss, so show it in bracket. What is the loss? This one, this is the loss. Now do you understand why you used this spot rate? Now 1.433, okay, because you are making a loss there, you need to use that spot rate. You're having a loss. We are just comparing with the April spot rate, but the loss is happening in the June, so yeah, using this, the 2-month forward rate 1.433. Okay, here we used the spot, so that's a loss, and in the future you're having a profit, so loss and future definitely will be deducted only. Okay, when you're showing in the calculator, minus 274 435 plus 525 because the gain in your future will reduce your losses further down. That's why if you see, compare this with this, your losses went down because of that gain in future. Now when the signs are different, you have to be very smart to know how to operate it in calculator, because most of you, what do you do? 274 435 minus 525. You don't even, you forgot that 274 435 is a negative answer itself. The whole amount needs to be in calculator. Or there is another way of doing it which is more easier, which is 525, put it in calculator, minus 274 435. This shall give you the answer in negative. The whole answer as it is you will get, and you just have to copy paste. If it's a negative, put the bracket. If it's without negative, without bracket. Simple. Alternative solutions are there. That means there's not just one way, you can do it and the other way also if you're not getting it in that way. If that method does not make sense to you, don't worry, there are other methods also, you can follow it. Okay, I think this is for the 2-month payment. Okay, so what is alternative solution? Effective future rate. Okay, the formula is opening minus closing basis. What is the opening future price? 0.696 was given to you. Closing basis is 0. Why 0? Definitely, some, if you see past paper and if you have seen the revision kit questions, bases are never 0. Never 0 means when you calculate, you get some basis remaining, but here there's no basis. Why? I know there are 10 days left because you are 20th April, 20th June. So it is maturing at 30th June, the future. Still 10 days are remaining from 20th June to 30th June. But those 10 days we are not counting. We are assuming it at the end of the month only. Because if it was more than 1 month only or 1 month, then only we'll calculate that closing basis. Does it make sense to you? From here, you know, okay, from here you learn this thing that if it's less than 1 month, let's say 20 days, 10 days, 15 days, no need to calculate the closing basis. Closing basis will only come when it's 1 month or more than 1 month. Okay, so here is just 10 days from 20th June to 30th June. So those 10 days does not matter, so closing basis is 0. So this is your closing future price. What happens when you get the closing future price? Use it and convert it to pounds. This is your payment, this is your future, and get it. Now if you see, it's a payment, no, it's that's why it's in bracket. 273,870. Did we get the same? This is 273,870. If you see here, this is 273,910. A little difference is there, does not matter. Examiner will not cut your marks, you will still get the full marks, so don't worry about it. Okay, and remember why the alternative solution is given to you is for your exam, under the exam condition. It saves time. It saves time. I have used it, trust me. What happened was I was so prepared for future. When I went to the exam, I kind of forgot what to do, where to start. Luckily, I went through that alternative solution and it really gave me a help. That really helped me a lot. It's so time saving because you just need to find the closing future rate. That's it. And since in this question the basis is 0, it's easier to get the closing future price. It will be the same as opening future price. So just multiply that opening future price by the payment and get it. That's it. Halas. Just in 2 steps or 2 lines you will get the answer rather than doing all these workings. This is in the exam condition, even though this is not accurate. Okay. So 273,870, if you see here, it is 273,910. Little difference is there, does not matter. And why multiplication? Why not divide? Remember, this is euro, but this one was pound per euro. This rate, the future, other way around. That means this is in pounds. Quoted. Okay, this is the base currency is euro. It's in pounds. 0.6964 pounds equals to 1 euro. That's why you multiply pounds and euro. So this solution is slightly less accurate. If you see here, this is slightly less accurate, the second method, because it ignores the fact that the actual transaction amount hedged on the future markets are in fact based on slightly different amounts, but it is acceptable under the exam condition. So better know both the methods because you don't know at what time, the second method might be helpful for you, alternative solution. Now we are over with the 2 months, come to the 3-month payment. We have decided already it's a September future, it's a payment, so buy. Okay, number of contracts, this was the payment, and divide it because same currency, contract size was 125,000, 5.5, so 5. Tick size will be same only, 12.5. Okay, tick value. Same 20th April but 20th July. Here remember base, I will show you here. Here the base will not be 0. Here the base will have some basis. Closing basis. Why is that? Look at the date. This is 20th July. Okay, we are taking 30th September. We are taking the September future. So it will end on 30th September. Look at the gap. August. Whole month of August is there. Whole month of September is there. 2 months are there. That's why we'll have that basis risk. But when we took the June future, what happened was 20th June, we are taking June future. So from 20 to 30, that 10 days does not matter. If it was 1 month or more than 1 month only, basis risk will come, otherwise it will be 0. Okay, so euros needed. Same way how we have done for the 2 months, same steps we are going to do. So I'm going to go a little bit faster here. Euros needed. This is the payment. Contract size same. Number of contracts 5 contracts. September future buy. This is the rate they have given. Go to the question and see. July spot rate. That means the 3-month forward rate. If you see. Okay, at means they have divided. Okay, this is division only. This is again in payment. That's why it's in bracket. 1.431. April spot will be 1.439 only. Same. Always compare with the April spot. And this, it's a bad news or a good news? It's a bad news because if you see here, it went up. So bad news in July. That means there'll be a good news in the future. There'll be a profit in the future. How much profit? That I don't know. For that, I have to calculate the closing future price. To get the closing future price, I have to calculate the basis and all those things. So first calculate basis, then calculate closing future price, then calculate profit or loss. And then calculate net outcome. These are the 4 steps. This 1.431 is the 3-month forward rate they are using. They are comparing it with the spot rate. Okay. So this is again, we are buying only, we are selling only. So this they have written in one. Just see how they have written it. They didn't do any workings in the main table. It is separated. You also have to separate. And since I have told you it's a profit, it's a profit. Because you are buying at a lower price, selling at a higher price. Okay. Again here, if you are saying 19, there it was 14, 0.0014, here 0.0019. Multiply this by 1000, that's why you are getting 19 ticks. And then into number of the contract size. 12.5 is the tick size, I'm sorry. Multiply by number of contracts, 5. Same how we have done previously for 2 months, you can check. Both are same. This a net position, since you're having a loss. I will come to that 0.7002, but first let me finish with all this because these are similar. Spot rate. Okay, this one. So that means when you calculate in the future price, you will be using 1.431, the 3-month forward rate. Okay. And since in the future you're having a profit, they have rounded up this 1187.5 to 1188. Okay. Same way, 1188 deduct 473045, you will get. Okay. Now let's come to the working. So here start with the September future as it is. Here they have taken 1439. Okay, here they have taken separately. If you have seen here spot, here the spot is different, end of April and July. Now you will be asking me this question, why in the 2 months they only took 1.433? The reason is basis risk, I told you, it's 0 here in this condition 2 months. Because basis risk is 0, end of April, end of June, it will be same spot only. That's why they have taken the 2-month forward rate. But when it comes to 3 month, it's different. It is different. So I will write that number, how you are getting it. This will be the first calculation. Second will be this. Here also you have to divide, 1 divide by that, same. But here they are taking 439. Wait a minute, 439 is the spot rate, April spot rate. Yes, here You are taking as it is, no forward. You are taking normally. When you have basis risk, remember, you have to take spot as spot, forward as spot. That's why for April you are taking this 1439. For the July you are taking in the spot 1431. When basis risk is there, when basis will be not zero, like in this one. So that's why for April you are taking the April. For July you are taking the 3-month forward. Okay, multiply by 2 over 5. This fraction, how do you understand? See, from end of April to when? September, 30th September. Oh, sorry, sorry. Let me. Okay, I will write the dates here. 30th April to 30th September, because you are taking a September future. Always check from the date today till the end of the future. That's how you decide the denominator. So May, June, July, August, September. How many months? 5 months. So from April we have 5 months. That's how you decide. Next, from April to July, how many months? I'm sorry, not April to July. From July to September. I'm sorry. From July to September. Because you need the payment till 31st July. But after that, you till future is there till 30th September. So July. I'm sorry. August, September. The whole of August month and the whole of the September. 2 months are there. So that's why we are getting these 2 months. So you multiply this with 2 over 5 and get this. This should be a third number which you have to get. Right? I'm sorry, this is not your third. Your third is this. This is your fourth. So once you have the third and the fourth, the missing figure, can't you find out the missing figure? Just add both. Add 0.0014 plus 0.6988 and get to this point and get the closing future price. That's it. Which is 0.6988. If you see here, I'm sorry, 0.7002. Yes, exactly that. But there's an alternative solution. The same alternative solution is opening future minus closing basis. What is the opening future price? It is given as 0.6983 in the question, and closing basis. Remember, closing basis is not this one, not 0.034. End of July. 0.0014. This one. Deduct it. Get this. Once you get it, multiply by this rate, because this is in pounds, this is in euro, the payment. So this will be your payment. If you see the payment, 471,751 and 471,857. A little difference is there, does not matter, because they have told you this before, that under exam condition this is acceptable. Finally, coming to the conclusion. What is the conclusion? Out of this, what do you have to take? Before I come to the conclusion, let us go through all. First, we'll go through the 2 months payment and see which one is the best. Okay, this is what you have to do. Finally, you have to give a conclusion, because they have told you to maximize. What is the requirement? Can we read it again? Always have this habit of rereading your requirements after you do each. It will help you. What do you have to do? Using forward money and currency. Using forward money and future, which one is more appropriate to maximize the cash flow at the end of the 3-month period? So at the end of the 3-month period means it will include both 2 months and 3 months. So first we'll look separately the 2 months wala. Okay, for 2 months, let us look at the forward. This is a payment, remember. So payment means we want a payment which is the minimum, the less payment. Whichever method out of the 3 has a less payment, we are going to select that. But don't forget that we have other advantages and disadvantages also, rather than looking at the lowest payment or highest receipt. That comes in part B, where you need to discuss about advantages and disadvantages of forward and future. So 2 month, under forward you are having 274,435. So remember this, 274,435. And if you are using money market, it is 275,101. Money market is having more. Definitely money market is out, eliminated. Let us see the future for 2 months. 273,910, the net position. 273,910 and forward is 274. So future is giving the less payment in terms of two months. Let us go to the 3-month payment and see. 473 and 475. Money market is giving you more, so it's out. And future of 3 months is giving you 471. So again, future is giving you the lowest payment in terms of 3 months also. Let us see the receipt. By the way, if you see receipt, we didn't use future. Why? There is no future for receipt, that currency. So we cannot hedge the 3-month receipt using future. Okay, it's only money market and forward. So receipt 794. Receipt, highest receipt, okay? 794,090. And money market is giving you the highest receipt, 798. So now you know, and now you can write the conclusion. Conclusion, if you see only 3 lines. Workings are so much, conclusion only 3 lines. This is a skill which you need to develop, that conclusion or summarization or recommendation advice has to be in 2 or 3 lines only. Okay. For the 3-month, now do you see how they are writing? For the 3-month KR receipt, 3-month KR, directly they are going to the point. For 3-month KR receipt, the money market will maximize cash flow. What will maximize cash flow was the question, the requirement. That's what they are answering here. So money market will hedge, maximize the cash flow. Why? Highest receipt. For the 2 euro payments, do you see they are not saying 2-month payment, 3-month payment, this is the lowest, this is the lowest. 2 times don't write the same thing. When this payment is also future, that payment is also future, where it is the lowest payment, write together. Okay, don't waste time writing 2-month payment is under 2-month payment, future is giving the lowest payment. Under 3-month payment, future is giving the lowest payment. What's the use of repeating the sentence? Aren't you wasting time? Aren't you wasting time repeating the same thing? So write like this. For the 2 euro payment, write the currency also and write whether it's a payment or a receipt. The future market should maximize the cash flow. Assuming, now do you see assuming, this has to be there. That assumption has to be there. Why? Because when we are saying it's the future is the lowest, you cannot just decide on the lowest payment. Future has other risks also, which we didn't assume. We assume it's not there. So that assumption you need to write in your conclusion. Assuming basis risk is negligible, that means it's very minimum, that we don't care about it. So if now do you see, because your conclusion will change based on that basis risk, sometimes it changes. So if a basis risk does have a significant impact, forward market may be the best choice. Do you see how they have presented the conclusion? They just didn't say, okay, highest risk is this one, lowest payment that one. They also give you the assumption that basis risk was not there, that's why it's future. But if basis risk is given and if it can change your situation, like it will not maximize cash flow, then forward is the best option. But just see how they used forward, not money market hedge. Why? Money market hedge is giving you the highest payment and lowest receipt. It is the worst position. Always give something which is little better than that one, the best. Don't give something which is the worst. That should not be your next alternative. When you give alternative, how do you give alternative? Definitely when something is the first, you recommend, and when it is not, then the second best you recommend, but not the worst. So in this case also, if someone of you might say next choice should be money market, but how can you say it's a money market? There is nothing for you to justify, because it is giving you the highest payment and the lowest receipt. So it's the worst position. But forward, it is somewhere in between the two. It's not very worse, it's not very good either. but it is somewhere in between, moderate. So somewhere which is in between, that you can give as the next choice when you recommend. This is the way how you come up with an answer. Okay, but don't say forward also and the third best choice will be money market hedge. Don't write answers like this, that if forward this if forward is not acceptable, then money market. No, this either this one, either that one. But don't try to include all the methods over there. Okay, now coming to the part B, where you have to show the impact in the cash flow, because definitely there will be profit or loss. Okay, now, and you have to start with each day. What happened in day 1, what happened in day 2, what happened in day 3. This is the way you have to present answer when it's given like this. So let us go to the day. Where is the day? Okay, day. Understand whether it's a loss or a profit. I have showed you the arrow. There's a reason why that arrow is there. This is the selling price, no? Selling price means you'll be selling and day 1 you'll be buying at that price. So if you see you are selling at this rate, you are buying at this rate. It's a loss or a profit? It's a loss. Second day also it's a loss because prices are going even up. Why? Because you are buying, selling. Again, you'll be buying at this rate, you'll be selling at this rate. Wait. Somewhere I'm going wrong. Okay. This is the selling price for a June content which you have sold. Wait a minute. It's a loss only, but somewhere I went wrong with successive daily prices of the future market again for which you have sold out. So this is the selling price, okay? So from here to here, you are selling and you are buying at 0.6930. So the first day 1 you can see it's a loss because prices went up. You are buying at a higher price, selling at a lower price. Day 2 you are buying at 0.693. You're selling it. No, you're selling. It's a selling price. So when day 2 comes, you are selling at this rate 0.6930, but you are buying at 0.694. Again it's a loss in day 2. So day 3 you are buying. No, day 2 you are selling. Day 2 you always sell each day. Okay. So wait, let me be clear with this. I think it's kind of confusing. Okay, so this you are selling, buying, selling at lower rate, buying at a higher rate. Day 1 loss. Day 2 always you sell. Okay, starts with selling only. So you sell and you buy. You sell at 0.6930, you buy at 0.694. Again it's a loss. Day 3 you buy. I'm sorry, you sell. Always you have to sell, remember? Sell at 0.694, you buy at 0.694. So you are buying at a lower rate. That's why it's a profit here. Day 3. In short, if the prices are going up, you'll be losing. If prices goes down, you'll be having a profit because you'll be buying at a lower price. Okay. So let us go there and see. So day 1, the movement. Okay. You compare the movement from here to here. 14 tick losses. It will be 0.0014. but you need to multiply by 1000 as I told you. Always you have to multiply by 1000 for the tick size. That is the rule, norm. So extra payment. What is the extra payment? Since it's a loss, definitely from your account you have to make extra payment. Margin account, because in future we always set up margin account. It's like a deposit. We are depositing it in it. Okay. So when we make a profit, cash comes in. When we make a loss, from there, from our margin account, we make a payment. So extra payment will be 14, that loss, into 12.5, because that's the tick value. What is it? 175 pounds. If the extra payment is not made, the contract will be closed out. Coming to day 2. Day 2, compare with the day 3's moment with day 2. Day 1, when you compare, it's with the day 1 with the selling price. But when it's day 2, the day 2's price with the day 1. So here also 14. So same, if it's 14, this is the payment. But day 3, you compare the day 2 and the day 3. Okay. This time it's a profit, 4 profit. So 4 into tick value 50. This can be taken in cash. So this will be added in cash, the 50. Okay. Wait a minute. One thing I just want to see whether they have told initial margins, variation margin is 100% of initial margin. So initial margin is 1000 per contract. That means if anything goes below 1000, you have to pay. You have to add to get to up to that 1000. So since the loss is 175 and 175 and 50 is the profit. So 175 plus 175. What is the total loss? Day 1, definitely you don't have to do anything because it's still, it didn't fall below 1000. You can see it was 350, the total loss. And then there's a 50, so 300. So if it goes down from 1000 to 300, it will be 700 only. But still, it didn't fall below. I'm sorry, initial margins are 1000 per contract. Variation 100%. You don't have to talk about that because the question asked effect on your cash flow. They didn't talk about that margin call and maintenance margin. I was confused with that too. So do you see? If I can get confused, you too can get confused with these things. I'm sorry. I somewhere, sometimes you get a little confused that because I talk fast. That's the reason. Okay, I hope you can understand. So we are done with that, and finally coming to the last part of this, which is part B, which is theory part. Advantages and disadvantages for 6 marks. So 6 marks means you can divide the marks between the two, 3 marks. And exactly how many advantages and disadvantages I have to write is up to you. But it does not mean that it's 6 marks, so you just write 5 advantages or disadvantages for forward and only 1 for future. It has to be a balance. Okay. Here if you see, they have given so many. That means they have given you all the possible disadvantages and advantages. In the real exam, you should not write this much. Look at the marks and then decide how much to write. Don't look at the answer which the examiner has given to you. The reason is they have given you all the possible answers. That means you can just take 1 or 2 from here when you are learning and write it. You don't have to write all of this. That's why the answer is very long. Let us go through it. Okay. Advantages of forward contract. When they tell you a question like this, you can write it like this. In the points like this, you can write. But write it in a full developed sentence, not short. Cheap. Less cheaper. Don't write like this. Less cheaper. Okay. Easier. Don't write words like this. More flexible. No. You have to write the full sentence. How they have written. Okay. I don't think I have to explain you all those things. This is your textbook knowledge, so you can write it. Okay, we know forward is flexible. Okay, it could be tailor made, unlike future, which is standard, right? And we can know in advance how much payment is required. Margin is not required in forward, it's more easy to understand. Disadvantages are, what are the disadvantages? The credit worthiness of the other party can be a problem because futures exchange, right? Exchange traded. This is not. Coming to future is transaction costs are lower than forward. Okay, exact date of receipt of payment is known. And some of the disadvantages are what? Futures are not available in all currencies. Okay, volatile trading conditions can have an impact on the future. So all those things you can write. So that's it for mock 1, question number 2. And from today onwards until your exam, I will be solving your specific doubts when you ask me, but I will not be able to make a video on it since time is limited, and people are asking me to make it on a CB platform. So I have to work on that too. I'll be making video on CB platform, how to do a question on that. I'll be solving, I think, one question, the latest question, I think 2020, in a CB platform, both for financial management and advanced financial management, AFM and FM. So do all the mocks, practice as much as you can. Don't stress yourself. Take good care of your health in these last few days. Do not overdo something. Do not stress. Because I will tell you one thing. No matter how much you prepare, if your mind is not good on that day, the right day, everything will go to the waste. Okay, everything will go in waste. So don't let it happen. Because I have seen very brilliant students failing on the day of the exam. They'll be shocked. You'll be very shocked to know their marks. When you see them in the class, you'll be like, he or she will be the top achiever and all. The reason is because you have always studied the theory part, the knowledge part, everything, the concepts and all, but you don't know how to deal with stress, anxiety, panic mode, then you will not be able to handle this exam. Okay, and don't at all think that what if I fail? Don't think that this, it's a very hard paper. Other students are telling me they have been failing 3 4 times, don't know, god knows how many times. So don't just listen to such kind of people at this stage. Just ignore. If someone is telling you you're going to fail, this is a very hard paper because I have failed 2 3 times, don't listen to them. Okay, this is the time you have to motivate yourself. No one will come and motivate you. No one will literally come and motivate you at this time. You have to motivate yourself. You have to get up, you have to make a timetable for yourself, when to eat, when to sleep, when to have food. Trust me, sleep is another important thing, because when you don't sleep you will not be able to focus. If you have to decide whether you have to study now or sleep, when you are sleepy, sleep first, sleep and then study. Don't compromise sleep for studies. If you sleep 8 or 9 hours a day and then you wake up fresh, you'll be able to do more, 10 times more than what you could have done when you didn't sleep and stayed overnight. This is the time, very critical time, very crucial time. You have to give more time to this, your studies. All these days, if you have wasted, you didn't prepare properly, don't worry. Still, there is a chance that in this 3 weeks, you can change your destiny. You can change if you put the double the effect. This is the time you should not lose hope. In fact, you should give hope to those who are losing hope. Whether it's your friend, go and talk, go out, go for a ride, talk to your friend. This all will help you. Okay, don't just be at home 24/7 studying, lock the room, not talking with anyone. Don't isolate yourself so much. Those are the students who, ultimately suffer. If not in terms of marks, but in terms of health. This is a long journey. You have more papers to go. This is not the end. You have other papers to study. So don't stop here. Okay, and keep on doing questions, and you can message me anytime 24/7. Okay, as soon as I get free, I always reply. I think I've replied all the students who have asked me for doubts. If I haven't replied a few people, that's because they have been waiting for my upcoming videos for CV platform, which I'll be making soon, so don't worry. And I think other than that, I have replied everyone. I don't think I have any more. So if I reply late or if I don't reply on the spot, please excuse me. I'm sorry. I apologize. The reason is because I have work to do. I have other works. Maybe I'm making a video, maybe I'm working on something, right? I have work. So it's not that I'm ignoring, I will ignore anyone. I'll definitely reply your queries, your questions and all. So support each other, build your moral high, and just say that I can do it. But that does not mean that you'll be overconfident and relax. Don't relax yourself. But don't overdo also. Okay? How will you know that you are overdoing? It is simple. You will get the symptoms and all. You will feel very tired, very stressed out, that nothing is going in your head. You'll feel very sleepy, very demotivated, very, there will be a change in your mood. You will not be happy. So all these are symptoms that you are overdoing. Your body needs rest. Please listen to your body when it's giving signals that you need to rest. You need to rest. Don't be someone who drinks energy drinks and all to stay awake at night. Don't go like, I definitely don't want you people to end up going to hospital, going in depression and stress and all those things. This is just an exam. You have nothing to fear. Trust me. This shall pass. Right? When you are in depressed, when you are sad, when you are worried, when you go to the exam hall, also talk to yourself. I have done so much. I have done my best. Now the rest is to the God. I have left it to the God. Definitely, all of us we believe in God. We know that whatever we do, still there's a supreme power over us who controls everything. Without His permission, nothing will happen. So just leave or rely your trust on Him. You do your best, rest leave on to Him. But don't expect that you don't do anything and He only will help you and do everything. That should also be not be done. You do your work, give your 100%, and then don't be in a doubt. Then you should be confident that I have done my level best, and definitely this is nothing, I will be able to do it. And don't get stuck anywhere in the exam. Don't get stuck anywhere. There will be areas where you will struggle. You might not get the correct answer. Sometimes you just have to make up something, assume, and give your answer and go ahead. Just go ahead. Don't keep that doubt or I could have, this is not wrong, this is wrong. Let me change it. When you're in the next question, you are in the next question. You have to keep your mind like that. When you're in that question, think about that question. Don't think about future. Some of the students, they are writing the exam, I'm like, and they're thinking, I'm going to fail. I'm definitely going to fail, or I'm going to pass. They become overconfident. Don't be that. Don't be in that category. When you're in the exam hall answering that question, you have to be in that question only. That's it. No left, right, up, down. Okay? And as soon as you get the paper, write it somewhere. Time. How much time I should spend. If it's 10 minutes, then it's damn 10 minutes. Not 9, not 11. Okay? So I hope that this 2-hour video shall help you. These are all the advices I could give. I don't think I have more to give. All the possible things which I have to give to my students, the advice is needed for the June exam I have given. I have told. The same applies to all those students who are giving other papers also, not just advanced financial management paper. Any paper, any exam you are given. Keep go in a fresh mind. Keep your mind fresh. So that's it. Take care and see you in my next video.